that her last camp with them was 2 months ago. She has credited the SASOL League as players now receive regular training and game time. Ellis has called the players to a selection camp ahead of the COSAFA Women's Championship in September.
Banyana's selection camp will end on Friday with the COSAFA Cup camp scheduled a week before the start of the tournament. However, Ellis is not too concerned that the fairly long break between camps will affect the fitness levels of the players, which can be a major factor in competitions. Players are competing regularly in the SASOL League, and it has given her something to work with when the players arrive in camp.
We have another 2 weeks before it starts, so there's enough time for us to get them to a higher level, because you have to be fit, if you want to be getting results, because other teams are training as well, and we want to be absolutely ready when we go to COSAFA, but we want to be even more ready when we go to AFCON, because that for us is the biggest one.
The COSAFA comes at an opportune moment for Banyana ahead of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, which also serves as a World Cup qualifier. They will go all out to defend their regional title because the team feels it will be to their benefit 2 months before the continental tournament.
We want to win the COSAFA because it also gives confidence, it also gives that winning feeling, and that is what we want to do.
It's also about preparing for that World Cup qualifier going into the AFCON, and I think it's just about improving.
Besides winning the COSAFA Cup, Ellis wants to see progress, which she says will guarantee results, and that is priority for the coach. SABC News, Soweto.
SA's Rugby Director of Rugby, Rassie Erasmus, has placed significant emphasis on getting the right first-choice halfback pairing in place ahead of next year's World Cup in Japan. Erasmus picked 4 scrum halves in his squad for the Rugby Championship, while 3 players who regularly play fly half were also included amongst the 15 backline players in the 35-man squad.
Lions players will only join the squad later in the week, and one of them is scrum half Ross Cronje. Going forward, only 3 number 9s might be considered.
But then again, you can't keep ignoring a 9 who takes a team to Super Rugby finals. And I've never coached and worked with Ross, so just like in the beginning when we didn't pick Ivan and then he just kept on performing, I think it's just fair to have a look at him, and maybe he starts and maybe he becomes in the mix, or maybe after 2-3 weeks we release him. Just want to get some eyes on him.
Erasmus says he sees Andre Pollard as his starting fly-off, and he would also like to see Pollard and Elton Jantjies play together if he has the luxury of experimenting. As for Damian Willemse, he's being groomed into a Frans Steyn, Patrick Lambie type of role.
Things change quickly in world rugby in terms of injuries, like Patrick Lambie just went down, he's out till February still. Will he recover? Frans Steyn, it's been a struggle the last few months to get him in time into camp. Now it's pre-season again with them, so you have to make alternative plans for if one of those things doesn't come off. And maybe, he surprises you so much that you don't actually look at the other guys.
Regarding the forwards, Erasmus says newly selected Lions flank Kyle Brink is in the same mould as Dwayne Vermeulen, who's being rested for the championship, which leaves the possibility of Brink, Marco van Staden and Captain Siya Kolisi starting as the loose trio in one of the tests. Harry Olivier, SABC News.